What is going on, all of you crazy, stupid nerds on the internet? I have not formalized that intro at all. But all the same, hey, how's it going? I also didn't put my label on here. My name is Josh, and I am joined by Carrie for a Let's Listen of an incredible community album undertaking, Goldenrod Citypop, gold and silver version. Carrie, why don't you just tell us how you're doing before we get too far into the weeds here?
Oh, I'm good. It's a lovely evening here in Northern California. Really glad we were able to actually have a day to do this LP. Basically because the next 2 weeks, I think both you and I are super busy. So like this was the only day where we could really do it. So really appreciate everyone's support on this project so far. It's honestly been very flattering, very humbling for me to see. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, folks, if you didn't know, Carrie has been the project runner on this huge double album. And I have to just say, yay! Who we got hype train level 2 achieved. Thank
hell
you,
yeah. Oh,
everybody,
we're
for
we're at level 3.
level 3
10
is
looks
complete.
like we just got a bunch of subs given away. So thank you, 10.
Yeah, I really don't deserve to be on Twitch because I just don't keep up with all the junk. But oh my god. Anyways, let's talk about why we're here. The project origin. So yeah, Carrie, you've kind of like seen this thing through to term. So why don't you tell us
Yeah.
how this all started? What was the seed of this project?
Literally, it was like a pretty non-serious tweet that I made. I want to say around this time last year, where like the GameGrooves account had been like, "Well, like give us a franchise and a genre that you would want to see put together." And I just said Pokemon City Pop, and there were like a dozen people who replied to it being like, "Do this, do this, do this, please do this." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm on the leadership team at GameGrooves as well, and so we kind of fast tracked the idea. And I want to say we started taking on artists for that. It was pretty early in the year, maybe like February, somewhere in there, January, February. And it had started, I think, the initial plan for this was it would just be sort of a general like Pokemon City Pop album. That being said, it was always going to be focused on Gen 2, on the Johto game. So Gold, Silver, Crystal, the 25th anniversary of Gen 2 at large begins this November. The Japanese releases of Gold and Silver released in November 1999. So I thought that was sort of a nice little nifty tie-in. What I didn't realize when I booked this listening party was the fact that today is the 15th anniversary of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the DS remakes. So, fortuitous planning on our part as far as that's concerned. But it started, I think, as initially it was a single album that was maybe going to have 12 tracks, and the response was so large that it turned into two 14 track albums. So that allowed us to do this incredible like gold and silver versions. As far as city pop is concerned, I mean, I just like city pop, and I feel like a lot of people, particularly within the larger video game community, really like city pop and listen to a lot of city pop, but I haven't really seen many city pop focused cover albums. So I
Mhm.
thought this was just a fun way to blend that two things that I think this community really loves together. So
Oh
yeah,
man.
it,
Well,
it it's been great.
for the uninitiated in chat, and definitely not just for me, can you describe the sound of city pop?
Sure. City pop is a genre basically that came out of Japan starting in the late 70s and carrying through most of the 80s. And it kind of blends like funk and new jack swing and some jazz fusion and some other stuff. The sound of city pop, I think, tends to come from certain types of instrumentation and certain types of like chord inversions more so than anything else. A lot of like big poppy drum machines, a lot of iwi. So if you like I would say like the city pop anthem is
Plastic love.
there's a few of them like The one that comes to mind for me is probably Plastic Love. That's probably like the biggest, like most well-known city pop ballad. But yeah, city pop rips. There's a lot of things on this album that I think are very pure city pop, and then there are some things on this album that maybe stray a little more into the funk zone or more into the jazz fusion zone or into new jack swing, stuff like that. So yeah, overall though, I think both of these albums really do have that city pop flavor about them.
Well, yeah, like things wavering on the genre a little bit is pretty par for the course in terms of GameGrooves albums. But yeah, it's really cool to see a lot of people in the VGM community constantly like flexing their genre skills on these huge collaborative albums. And speaking of wavering a little bit, I couldn't help but notice that there are a couple of anime tracks here on my VGM album. What happened there?
So for me, this being, the goal of this was to be just a celebration of generation 2. For me, so I'm in my mid 30s and I very much grew up, I was 8 when I first started playing Pokemon Red. And so I was about like 9 or 10 when we started getting more of like the Gen 2 kind of news. Um and the thing for me is so much of like that lead up into Gen 2, which is like the peak of Pokemania in the United States,
Oh
especially, right? So that run up to the release of Gold and Silver was what was going on in the anime and the films, especially. And for me, when I think back to what it was like to be a kid who was really into Pokemon,
yeah.
waiting for Gen 2 to come out, I remember going to the movies and seeing Pokemon the movie 2000 and then later on Pokemon 3 the movie, and just the soundtracks, the American soundtracks to those films are such a little lovely little time capsules of what music was like in America at the time.
Mm.
You look back at even the Pokemon the first movie soundtrack, which is one of the couple of CDs that I still keep in my car. I have 3 CDs in my car. One of them is Pokemon the movie, Pokemon the first movie. One is Pokemon to be a Master, and the other is Millennium by the Backstreet Boys.
It is a little time capsule in your car, in your
But
car CD
exactly.
player. Oh my god.
But you listen to these old soundtracks, and not only were I think even the themes for the anime still sort of iconic in their way, Pokemon World and Pokemon Johto, but the soundtracks were also just like doing some really cool things and bringing in a lot of sort of like known artists. So like Donna Summer did the theme to Pokemon the movie 2000, which was called the Power of One. The first movie soundtrack I recall had NSYNC and Aaron Carter and other like known pop acts at the time appearing on the soundtrack. So I just wanted to make sure that we weren't just capturing what it was like to be a fan of the games, but to be a fan of the franchise at large. So I was really pleased to have these anime tracks on there for that reason. But on top of that, city pop as a genre is really vocal focused in a lot of
Mhm.
ways too. So I also wanted to make sure that we were giving the artists at GameGrooves the opportunity to have city pop style vocal tracks as well. The opening track to Gold, I think, is a really perfect example of what a city pop vocal track should sound like.
Oh my gosh. Well, if that doesn't get your palate whetted for what you're about to listen to tonight, folks, I don't know what does. We have a bevy of guests backstage who are ready to talk about their tracks here with us today. We also have some folks who were able to submit some short little video intros to some of their tracks, and we'll enjoy hearing from them and hearing their perspective on some of their influences, etc. Speaking of which, in our first listening block here, folks, if you don't know what we do here at Bonus Stage with Let's Listen, we have like 3 or 4 songs at a time. Then we'll take a break and we'll chat with some artists or talk about the music at large. And we've got one artist backstage, Deontay. Deontay, are you ready to come out into the spotlight here and give us a little bit of your time and your words on Road to Cherry Groove City? Hey, Deontay, how's it going?
Hello there. That's pretty good. How are y'all doing?
Doing good. All right. Well, it's not the first track, but it's Road to Cherry Groove. Cherry Groove or Cherry Grove? Oh my god, here.
Cherry Groove for the sake of the album, but in the game it's Cherry Grove.
I wanted the
Love
pun.
it.
I wanted the pun, so I couldn't resist. So
Cool. Well, why don't you tell us, like, were you one of those people in that tweet just being like, yes, let's do this, let's fucking go, or tell us just generally how you kind of got started and roped into this whole thing?
I believe I was one of the people that liked the tweet because I was really interested in the idea because that did sound cool. Then when I saw it open, I was like, okay, I was immediately trying to think of which track I wanted to do, and I kind of just like, oh, why don't I do a track that I haven't really like arranged or I haven't done before? So I just thought, oh, let's do Route 29. Oh, it's also called Road to Cherry Grove City. Oh, I already know the pun for this one. All right, and it kind of went off from there.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I mean, it's hard to kind of like give away too much, but maybe you can help set the scene here and what tonal palettes we're going to be exploring here.
In terms of tonal palette, well, in terms of inspiration, like tonal palette stuff, I took inspiration of September from Maria Takeuchi, and I also wanted to kind of like incorporate like a little bit of Earth, Wind, and Fire, so a little bit of kind of that classic city pop and like basically that 70s funk sort of deal. So basically a little bit of swings, a horn soli, kind of just an overall just pop kind of vibe feel.
Yeah. Nice. And this is definitely not your first time being a part of the GameGrooves compilation albums. Did you find it a bit of a stretch to kind of reach for that city pop sound, or were you just like sitting ready and
this is my comfort zone. This is like one of my favorite like I don't make city pop often, but like this is kind of like in the realm of like jazz and fusion and funk to me. That's like it's just really fun and like I don't know, it's just comfortable to me. I like it.
Fun, comfortable, all the words that describe basically your listening experience here tonight, folks. So without further ado, why don't we get into it? We are going to listen to Pokemon World by Trey Watson. We've got Vector U giving you New Barktown, Road to Cherry Groove City by Deontay here. And then Nix the Shield has got a trainer battle for you. Folks, you all know what to say. Let's
listen.
So you want to be a master? Pokemon. Understand the secrets and have some fun. Do you want to be a master? Pokemon. Do you have the skills to be number one?
I want to take the ultimate step, find the courage to be bold, to risk it all and not forget the lessons that I hold. I want to go where no one's been, far beyond the crowd, learn the way to take command,
use the power that's in my hands. We all live in a Pokemon world. I want to be the greatest master of them all. We all live in a Pokemon world. I put myself to the test to be better than all the rest.
every day along the way. I will be prepared. With every challenge I will gain the knowledge to be shared. In my heart there's no doubt of who I want to be. I'm right here standing strong,
The greatest master of Pokemon. We all live in a Pokemon world. I want to be the greatest master of them all. We all live in a Pokemon world. I put myself to the test to be better than all the rest. So you want to be a master? Pokemon. Understand the secrets and have some fun. Do you want to be a master? Pokemon. Do you have the skills to be number one?
God damn, setting a precedent. Oh wow. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I'm chill.
it's a it's a good way. It's a good way to start off the album, I think. Yeah, I'm look, every track on these albums is a certified banger, but I'm a huge fan of Trey's take on Pokemon World. I don't know how he managed to turn an English anime opening written by four kids into like a fuck jam. I'm really really not sure how he did it. And then obviously New Barktown is so chill. But kind of homey in its way, which is good for New Barktown. Road to Cherry, Groove City, fantastic stuff. You can clearly hear the Earth, Wind, and Fire inspiration in there with that little lick from In the Stone. And
We see you, Deontay.
yeah, we see you, Deontay. And Trainer Battle by Nyx the Shield. That was one of the. We were talking about it backstage just now, but like it's a track that when I first heard it, I was so mad because it's so good. And it's like, man, I wish I could do that. Like, I wish that's something I came up with because it has like the heart and the soul of like what makes the Johto Trainer Battle kind of special.
Mhm.
But, it's so smooth. It's so well done.
Yeah. Just take out all those chromatic runs and slow it down a little bit. Who knew? Who knew? Oh my god. Well, folks, I know there's been a lot of really awesome show of support over on the GameGrooves Bandcamp. People have been pre-ordering this already. When is this set to release, Carrie?
So this comes out on the 25th. So at the end of the month, we're still a couple weeks away. And that largely has to do with just the amount of time that it's going to take for it to finish getting through licensing so that it can come out on Bandcamp and streaming all at the same time. But in addition to the streaming and the digital stuff, you can also pre-order some physicals, which we'll talk more about later in the show tonight.
Awesome. And as well, right here for this show, for all of you cool people who decided to show up, we are actually going to be doing 3 giveaways, if I'm not mistaken, of both albums
Yes.
together. That's amazing. So, folks, if you would like to just get the album in a digital format from Bandcamp for free, all you have to do is write "Gimme" in chat, GIMME. Just do that, and we will do 3 draws throughout the night. We're going to have 1 draw after the next listening block. We're going to have a draw at about intermission just before we switch over between the gold and silver version. And then we are going to have another draw sometime after that, I believe halfway through the silver version. So, yeah, not Gimli Taladar. Very nice try. I don't think that actually works. Nightbot is very strict about about spelling. But anyways, yeah, folks, and if you still want to support, by all means, yeah, head on over to Bandcamp, pre-order the album. It's $12 USD or more. You could this album could be more expensive for you if you like. That's your choice. Great. Well, yeah, I'm still trying to catch up because we had some more guests join on since we started the first listening block there. So yeah, actually, we've got 2 people backstage ready to talk about their tracks in the next listening block here. We got Alejandro Espinoza and we got Saya Sounds. Carrie, do you think we should just bring...
Just get them both out here.
We got a lot of music to listen to here tonight, folks, so we're just going to keep things rolling. Alejandro, you are live, buddy. How you doing tonight? All the way from Japan, from the motherland of Citypop.
What's up, man?
Not much. I asked you literally just that question just now. It's your responsibility to answer.
I tend to be hostile towards moderators. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm working on it in
I'm
therapy.
a host. Go on. Okay, tell us how you're doing.
Well, for starters, I'm not in therapy.
Okay.
So not great.
Oh, okay. I mean, we don't need to turn this into a therapy session for you. That would be a little selfish, I think. But
I agree.
but I mean, you have contributed to this wonderful album, which happens to actually be the topic of our discussion.
Contributed is a strong word, but yes.
but yeah, dude, you submitted a track, Machi no Goldenrod City, like basically the namesake of this whole project. So how did you get sweet dibs on that?
Um, I called it real early. You know what they say about the early worm?
Uh
You can
huh.
do Goldenrod City.
Okay, that's the
Yeah,
whole story. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Okay.
the entire story.
Okay.
I literally saw the message, like, I think within like 5 minutes of posting, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay." And then I called Goldenrod City because I thought it would work really well with Kingo Hamada's Machino Dolphin.
Oh my god. Well, that's amazing. That's a good story. And you know, you are also no stranger to GameGrooves community albums. Is city pop kind of like in your realm of expertise, or was this a bit of a stretch for you?
So actually, I in Tokyo host a city pop jam session every month or two.
Get out of here.
And for this track, I brought on like the core people that host the city pop session, and then a bunch of other friends.
Wow. So this is, you have a lot of people to credit then for
I do,
this
I
song.
do have. There are a lot of boys on this track, Joshua.
Whoa.
There's so many boys on this track. I can't handle it.
The way you're using the word boys is bothering me a little bit. But okay, that's great. How many boys did you stuff into this track?
Please don't use the word stuff like that, Joshua. It's really bothering me. Um, it's me and then 6 other boys.
Okay.
And one of the boys is Charles Ritz,
Oh yeah. That we had both of you
who's
boys
who's
on
a
here.
mutual friend of ours.
Yes. I'm familiar with that boy. Oh, that's great. Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Any other notes on inspiration, cool
So the
stories,
the
anecdotes?
concept was, what if uh, Junichi Masuda, who wrote Goldenrod City, or was it Goichi no Se? I don't remember. I think it was Junichi Masuda. It was Junichi. It was what if Junichi Masuda and Kingo Hamada, who wrote Machino Dolphin, had a baby? Is this what the baby would sound like? Scientists indicate probably not, but because babies don't really sound like city pop. However, that was the idea behind the thing.
Right. It's like an interpretive dance. It might not, you know, appear to be exactly what it's meant to represent. That's understandable. Okay, so when we go to listen to this song produced by a bunch of boys, we're supposed to be hearing a baby. Okay, I think it's all clicking here. Right. This
On
is
an airplane.
on an airplane. Okay. We're just getting younger and younger as the days go by. Well, that's great. Thank you very much, Alejandro, for popping in and sharing those words with us.
Thank you, Josh. I'll be back in an hour.
Yeah, you will. Okay, we'll see you backstage, bud. Oh man! And then after we hear that boy song, then we've got Ian Cowell, who's
So many boys.
a little too many boys, honestly. It's gonna be a Lord of the Flies situation. We got Game Corner by Ian Cowell. Love the music video. That one's out already. And then Saya Sounds with Ekritique City. Let's bring Saya in for a slightly more hinged conversation. Saya, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Okay, are we good? Yes.
Yes.
I'm doing well. Yeah, that's the first time that anyone has ever called me hinged, so you know what, I'll take it.
I mean, coming after Alejandro, I don't know. It doesn't take much. The bar is pretty low. But you've got your Teddy Ursa there, clearly a Gen 2 fan. Yeah, what made you want to pick Ekritique City for your cover?
So honestly, Gen 2 is my favorite gen, even though the last time I played it was like when it came out, so 20 some odd years ago, and I could barely remember any of the soundtracks. So I was just hurriedly listening through after things were announced. It's like, okay, what sounds like I could just turn this into city pop, like where I don't have to start changing too many chords and do this. And then my first thought was actually National Park, and then I saw like, oh, that was taken. Then I started going through, and it's like, what
Sorry,
about?
dude.
It's okay. No, No, I'm not
Producer
trying to call
dibs.
you, but yeah. But no, and that's perfectly fine. And then I listen through, and it's like, oh, Ekrutique sounds like a thing I could do, and I'd actually been listening to not even Plastic Love, but Stay With Me by Miki Matsubara, and I have probably butchered the name, but like just kind of listening to that, then listening to Ekrutique, and it's like, I think I can do something with this.
And you did. All right. Glad we wrapped up that story. Oh man. No. But yeah. You're clearly already a fan of Pokemon. Clearly already a fan of City Pop. It sounds like it was just kind of an easy fit.
Oh yeah, and I've produced a little bit of City Pop before. Game soundtrack that I'm currently working on, they wanted to do some City Pop in it, and like that was my first time ever making anything. So after that, I felt that I was a little better prepared. As soon as I had heard this album being announced.
Nice. All right. And did you also bring in a bunch of boys, or is this largely your solo work?
I am all the boys in this one.
All the boys. It sounds all the boys. I have a feeling we're not going to be able to get away from that word tonight. But wish us
Not
luck.
at all.
No. Oh my god. All right. Well, with that, why don't we take a break from words and enjoy some more Sonic treats? Let's
Listen.
Hi, everybody. Ian Cowell here to talk to you about the greatest generation. And no, I'm not talking about World War II veterans. I'm talking about Gen 2 Pokemon. I first played Pokemon Gold in Japanese. I never played it in English, and I've been reworking my way through it. I got an import copy from my grandmother when I was young, and I kept pushing the A button and reading a game facts guide until I finished it. And the one thing that stuck with me that wasn't dialogue, because still can't read Japanese, was the music. I love this soundtrack, and I particularly love Game Corner, which I had the honor of covering for this release. I love Pokemon, and I love City Pop, so to be able to combine these two into a Takanaka meets George Benson style of late 70s, early 80s kind of funky jam is something that means a lot to me, and I hope it means something to you. Gambling is important. Get help if you have a problem, but when it comes to the Game Corner, go to town, gamble.
God damn. God
So
damn.
tasty.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
tasty. City Pop. Oh my god. We had Machi no Golden. Alejandro Espinoza. Game Corner. Ian Cowell. Thanks for that lovely little video intro, Ian. Really set the scene. And the music video too. Very fun. Oh my god. Carrie, that's your Game Boy.
It is my Game Boy. Yes, I have it right here. I got this at the convention Too Many Games in like 2021. Uh, yeah, I actually still have all my old games from when I was a kid, so I need to get some batteries for this thing. And what I really need to do is like get a new battery in my copies of my Pokemon games because all of them are dead at this point. So all of my old save data is lost to the sands of time, unfortunately. But
You just got to speed run any percent.
I mean, I know these games like the back of my hand at this point, so it's all good. But lots of good stuff in listening block 2 and lots of good stuff in listening block number 3. So I want to go ahead and turn it over to the artists that are going to be in this next listening block because
Yeah.
I'm here all night. You guys don't need to keep hearing me talk.
Cool. Well, speaking of other people talking, backstage we've got Johto, who is featured on the Surf track, which is coming up next. Then we've got Chernobog with the Ice Path, who is not here, but we do have Cool Dance and Rio Matrix for their Blackthorn City cover, which will be featured in the next block as well. Why don't we get Giaco out here and say hi, acknowledge your existence. Hi, Giaco. How's it going tonight?
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
We're doing sweet. All right. So the surf theme. Oh, I mean, iconic theme in most earlier generation video games. What drew you to it in terms of making a City Pop cover?
Well, I wouldn't say it's specifically because it's city pop. I've always just loved that theme, and I mean, it was free, and I love that track. So I figured if I like it, I'll make it happen. I'll make it work. And I've listened to a lot of city pop. The last like 5 6 years. Ever since I found it, I fell in love with it, and I'm a big fan of the style. So as soon as I heard of the project, I just wanted to hop in and try to get one of my favorite tracks, which luckily I managed to grab it.
Yeah, definitely. Were you part of the tweet, or did you follow afterwards?
No, actually, Viron wrote sent me a message directly like, "Hey, you should hop on this. This sounds exactly like your kind of project." And yes, as soon as she told me, I just hopped on the server to check all the news.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. Well, yeah, no stranger to City Pop. Um, what kind of like sounds are you using in your cover?
Well, some of the most iconic sounds of city pop for me, as a brass player, it's impossible for me to ignore the trumpets, of course. I also play congas, and it's hard for me to ignore that as well. That's a staple of a lot of tracks that may go unnoticed sometimes, but it just feels in the groove so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Strings, and of course you have synths, an electronic piano. All of that blends in and makes beautiful music.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And we're going to be hearing it very soon. Yeah, thanks, Giaco. And maybe I should have been asking this to all the artists, but favorite Gen 2 Pokemon?
Ooh, Dunsparce.
Dunsparce. Whoa, deep cut. All right, uncommon choice. All right.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Dunsparce?
Not the best stats, but it's very cute and versatile. It has a great move pool.
Awesome. Does it know surf? Can it learn surf?
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
That would be a shame. Oh my god, you wrote the surf track. And anyways, all getting a little off track here. But thank you very much, Giaco. Yeah, we're gonna put you backstage again here. We'll definitely get you out before the end of the show here. Thanks for talking about surf. And now we've got Cool Dance and Rio Matrix here added as well. How are you both doing tonight?
I am doing excellent. How are you?
Happy to have you here, Dan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing good as well.
Awesome. Well, you two collaborated on the Blackthorn City song. So yeah, what kind of drew you to that track in particular?
Take it away, Danch.
I grew up with Gen 2, as a certified 31-year-old. That's like my era.
You have a certification of being 31?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually originally wrote it down in the sign up sheet as Azalea Town.
Yeah, so here's a quick note about this particular track, and actually we'll revisit it with a couple tunes on the silver version, is because of the fact that every town theme is used twice, with the exception of, I think, Goldenrod City and New Barktown. It gave me the flexibility as the producer to rename certain tracks into certain things in order to make sure that the album still felt like, oh, we're starting in New Barktown, we're starting at the start of the game and we're ending at the end of the game with both of these albums. So they submitted it as Azalea Town, and I just felt it felt a little bit better in the track listing towards like the middle end of the album. So it got renamed to Blackthorn City rather than keeping it as Azalea Town, but it is the same song either way.
Yeah,
so.
and it kind of works out too, because the feel of the song, I think how Ryu and I worked on it is almost a little like bittersweet, and Blackthorn City is like the 8th gym. You're closing in on the end of your adventure,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of fits. I think it's fun. I like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Well, you two are no strangers of working together, but how familiar are you with Citypop?
I listened to it
I've
a
never
little
done
bit.
City Pop before.
Okay, fresh. Well, what did you
Yeah.
learn?
I think big thing for me, at least on the mixing part, reverb. I went kind of low key ham on the reverb, getting it to sound nostalgic and such.
Cool.
What about you, Danch?
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of go into every remix I do as just like YOLO, see what happens. This one just happened to have that theme, so I tried to work with it, and me and Ryu just kind of did it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we definitely know you for some more hype stuff. Was it also like a big stretch just to kind of like cool things down a little bit and settle into the pocket?
For me, definitely a little bit. I've tried to do a couple lo-fi things here and there just to expand, and they're terrible. They're always terrible. They've never been good. So this was a fun little experiment of how to kind of keep some energy but mellow out a little bit and kind of make it work. And Ryu helped a lot with that because I definitely was a little lost, and he provided a lot.
Yeah, I think for me, going chill like this I'm not a stranger to it. I usually go chill at least 1 month per year. If you know the competition I'm talking about, then good for you.
Okay.
So this is more practice for me on that.
Nice. Okay, folks, well, why don't we get into it? We've got 3 songs on the next block here. We've got Surf by Johto, we've got Ice Path by Chernobog, and Blackthorn City by these two fine gents. Let's
Listen.
Oh man, that Blackthorn theme especially is super nostalgic for me.
It's tasty. It's I feel like the all of the town themes in Gold, Silver, Crystal were all just like very memorable in their own ways. And the Blackthorn slash Azalea Town theme in particular, I think, just like has a lot of staying power with a lot of people for some very good reasons. It's just like it's a well written tune, and Danch and Ryu just killed it. So
Yeah. And likewise with Jocko and the surf theme. Oh my god.
it again, you know, I briefly talked about this backstage, but like the first time I sat and listened to the surf theme the whole way through, I was just very tender listening to it. It just like it really hit a big nostalgia button for me. I love Pokemon a lot, and something about that arrangement got me real good. And then Chernobog's Ice Path arrangement, which Ian Cowell and I both played on. That was a ton of fun. Not strictly city pop, definitely a little more of like the funk and fusion kind of vibe in there, but certainly matches the flavor of everything else we have going on here. Ton of fun. We have a separate bi-score arrangement of Ice Path that we did last year, and that was a fun tune to revisit in a different way for us. So thanks very much to Chernobog for having us on that.
Absolutely. Well, coming up next is our last listening block for the gold version of this album. We've got Ian Martin with The Power of One. What? Oh my god. Actually, Carrie, I think you said you had
Yeah,
a thought
well,
that
hold
was
on.
very
Before we
relevant.
get into this, we got to do the giveaway, right?
Oh yes. Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, folks, we are going to do the first of 3 giveaways on the show here tonight. So I see 6 eligible people who have used the word "gimme" in chat, and we are going to draw one of you right now. And wow, Brian Stewart has won the
Brian
giveaway.
Stewart.
Wow, he's
Sounds
probably like
good.
pre-ordered it 3 times
He
already.
definitely has already pre-ordered it, but I'm happy to send him a freebie copy.
Oh, Brian, give it to a deserving friend or something like that. Yeah, but that leaves 5 eligible users, folks. If you want to have a chance to win this double album on Bandcamp, yeah, just type "gimme" in chat, and that will give you a shot. Yes, okay. So we did the giveaway. We got 2 more coming on. Everybody knows what to type in chat. We are going to talk about The Power of One, Carrie. Oh my
Yes. The Power of One is originally sung by Donna Summer and is interesting in so much that they did a couple remixes of that song, and I think it tracked as like the dance remix of it tracked. But I have a test pressing vinyl of The Power of One. It's not that many test pressings are usually made, even for sort of larger scale stuff. There's usually only maybe like 15 or so. But yeah, this is something I found on eBay a while back. Obviously, I'm an enormous fan of Pokemon. We've been over that. But you know, if you don't know me, I'm also a big vinyl collector, and so this was something that came across my radar, and managed to snag this off of eBay for not too terribly many dollary dues. So I'm happy to have it. It doesn't get spin a whole lot because it's literally just like one side is, I think, the vocal versions of the song, and then the B side is, I think, the instrumentals. So it's like it's not I'm going to go out of my way to listen to all of the time, but it's a little kind of fun artifact to have. So yeah, The Power of One is like it's sort of the theme for Pokemon the Movie 2000, and that was done by Ian Martin with several collaborators as well. So yeah, I think we should just bring Ian in here to talk about his track.
Yeah, Ian, join us right this instant. Hi, Ian. How's it going? You've been backstage all the time.
Yep.
Every time.
Every time. I'm always here for one reason or
Ian.
another.
Oh my god. Well, The Power of One. Yeah, you did this track with the power of many, from what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yeah. Of course. Because I never do any of these things alone. Let's be real.
Well, let's make sure you give all the credit out up front.
Right. So singing, we got Samathes, who obviously did a fantastic job because she always does. Let's be real. I've got Viron on vibraphone, and a real Pokemon, Rhubarb Nido, on electric violin. So yeah, and my
Rhubarb's
good
great.
friend, what?
Rhubarb's great.
Yeah,
Rhubarb is awesome. I love Rhubarb. It's great having him on these things. And my good friend Chris Perry on tenor sax. So yeah.
All right.
Not as many as normal, actually.
Nice.
So
Well, we didn't get to ask this of Trey Watson, but you know, when there was the viral tweet that Carrie had about doing City Pop, what made you set up and be like, "Hi, I would like to do this song from Pokemon the movie 2000"?
so first of all, I love City Pop. I'm a big fan of like sort of that middle ground between City Pop and J Fusion. People like Hiroshi Sato and Hiroshima.
All the Hiroshis, yeah.
Yeah, all the Hiroshi, right? But so I was interested in the genre, and part of the album like description when Carrie pitched it was that there were certain songs from the movies that tied into the game. I guess I'm going to be honest, I haven't played Gold and Silver, and I haven't watched the movies. Sorry, this is probably sacrilegious, but but because there were vocals, whenever there are vocal songs, I'm like, okay, got to do a vocal song. And so I listened to the entire album, the Pokemon 2000 album, and I actually chose this one because one of my middle and high school classmates' fathers is one of the writers on it.
Sorry, what were the degrees of separation on that? Your friends?
Is middle and high school classmates' father.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, is one of the writers on the song.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, no, I mean, basically, I just wanted to do something that was kind of upbeat, and that would sort of fit into that vein. I'd been listening to a ton of Hiroshima right before this was announced, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do something like that for this. So it's just sort of like, that's why, because of the vocals, basically.
Nice. Yeah, they definitely didn't have any vocals in the original Gold and Silver OST.
Yeah, like Game Boy Color vocals and singing, not a thing. So,
there was the yellow version, the Pikachu.
I remember
Run, Pikachu.
Oh my god! Yeah.
I played that in Japanese right when it came out, because the Game Boy has no region lock, so you could play it in whatever darn language you wanted to. So yeah, I got the Japanese Pokemon Yellow.
Nice.
That's the only real Pokemon game I've played besides Go. But I feel like,
well, if you had to have one, you're allowed to have that much. Okay. Pokemon Yellow, like you're a Pokemon fan. You're allowed.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll vet you.
I'm a Pokemon poser. I'll take it. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll let you pose backstage then, and
awesome.
We're gonna bring out Sean Hansen. Thanks very much, Ian. All right, we got Sean here with us to talk about Route 26. Sean, what is special about Route 26?
So, Route 26 is actually it is the first area that you go to in the end game, basically. You have the main Johto region, then there's like the little stretch of water in Newbark Town, and that's where you get the guy who walks into you saying, "You just stepped into Kanto for the first time." And I'm a big Route fan, and actually, when the album was announced, I asked, "Hey, can I do like because I originally wanted to do Route 47, which is actually one of the Heart Gold and Soul Silver exclusive themes, but it was agreed that we should aim for the general original release track." So I'm like, okay, I'll go with Route 26 again. I've wanted to do this track for a while, and right away I'm like, okay, I want to do this very just lush ballad completely. So I've got 5 collabs on here. I've got Christian Stevens. He's for those who don't know, he's actually the saxophone player for High Ping. I met them at MagFest, and I saw them shred at the jam space. I'm like, who are these guys? I need to collab with them. Turns out they're from Arkansas, and I'm gonna be real, I forget that state exists sometimes, but I'm really happy to have them on. Definitely want to collab with them as a full group in the future. Jazz That Brass on trumpet. Fun fact about Jazz That Brass: he's actually also a shiny hunter in the greater Pokemon scene, and he actually has found a 10% shiny Smeargle in silver. I want to say after over 130,000 resets.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he said it took him like 6 months to do it, but I'm like, and I knew that Gen 2 is his favorite game, so I'm like, I need to have this guy on. We've got
fanatics.
I can't live that life. That is not for me.
No.
Yeah, I admire the dedication so much. We've got Mark Autumn on guitar. He's got like that lush, just that beautiful clean tone. Ian Martin, you just heard from, he's laying down the bass.
Oh, nice.
And then Saya Sounds, you heard from earlier, on the drum programming. And just complete lush ballad vibes. I want to shout out one instrument in particular, the sleigh bells. You'll hear it on beat 3 of every measure. Like, I just found this really like perfect reverb and delay setting where it goes just like and I'm just like, that's the sound I want. So but
nice.
So thank you. Hope everybody enjoys my track.
Right on. And is this your first attempt at City Pop or not?
So I wouldn't call this track directly City Pop. It's more of just like a ballad thing, but this was actually very inspired by Toshiki Kadumatsu's Follow Me. That's like a male vocalist and a female vocalist, and like having like a conversation. So I'm like, okay, I want to have the saxophone and the trumpet basically take those two roles as like a conversation back and forth. So that's kind of the inspiration for this track.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right, folks. Well, yeah, we've got Ian Martin's The Power of One. We got Sean Hansen's Route 26. We got Stephen Morris with Viridian Forest. That rhymes. Wow. And then Big Oron versus Champion. Let's
listen.
Dang, going out strong at the end of gold version. Oh my god.
Yeah, and ending strong was really important to me. And Mr. Big Goron Tuck with the incomparable Kev Ragone on drums for that, who I see is also in chat. Just absolutely nailing that one. Definitely a new Jack swing style kind of synthy vibe on versus Champion Lance, and then Stephen Morris's Viridian Forest. Short and sweet, real cute. And then we talked plenty already about the Power of One and Route 26. But yeah, that's it. That's gold. We finished gold. We're halfway through.
Yay, hooray, we made it to the halfway point. Oh my god. Let's do another giveaway.
Hell
So,
yeah.
let's see. I see now 8 eligible users. Of course, it's not going to give it to Brian Stewart twice, is it? No, I don't think so. But yeah, 8 people have typed the word gimme in chat and are eligible for this roll. So let's roll it. Brum. Yo, Lassie Horse. Lassie Horse, if you're in chat, oh my god, you have just won a digital copy of Goldenrod Citypop Gold version, Silver version, both versions. So I believe Carrie's going to slide into your DMs and give you some download codes for both of
I will be
those.
doing that after the LP tonight.
Yeah, awesome. Well, congratulations. And yeah, anybody else who still wants to chat, we have one more giveaway in a couple of listening blocks, folks. So if you want that, there you go. Just like Lee Lemon has done. Just type "give me in chat," and that will add you to the list of eligible people. Well, cool. Okay, so we basically listened to a full album, and now we're going to do that whole process again. But before we do, yeah, let's talk a little bit about we got some other things that no other artists are involved in. It's just you, Carrie.
Yep.
Only you know these things. So discussing the differences between the versions. So you were responsible for the track order, I presume.
Yep.
Yeah, what you had an overwhelming response of people who wanted to be a part of this album. How did you decide to divvy things up into the gold and silver versions?
So, I wanted to make sure that both of these, I mean, it worked out really nicely that we had 28 total tracks submitted. So I could do an even amount of tracks on both. And I wanted them to feel very symmetrical. So I didn't want, I had kicked around the idea of doing like everything in like pure chronological order in roughly the way you would hear them in the games, before just sort of throwing that out the window and just being like, I want both of these records to sound like their own sort of complete Johto experience. So I want you to feel like you're starting a new game, you're experiencing the early game, you're experiencing the mid game, and then you're getting to the end and you're probably taking your first few steps into the Kanto region. So while Gold Edition had Route 26 and then Viridian Forest, Silver has Route 2, which is the same track as Viridian Forest, but renamed as Route 2 because it's the same thing. And then Pewter City at the end, before we get to the end of that album. So I wanted to sort of make sure that they both had similar amounts of certain things. So it was important to me to balance the town themes, to make sure that the battle themes were balanced in both. So I think each has 2 battle themes, different travel themes. So while Gold has surf, Silver has bicycle, that sort of thing. So I spent a lot of time listening to all of these tracks in different orders and making sure that everything sounded really good and sounded really cohesive, and that going from one track to the other didn't cause any sort of like whiplash between styles and stuff like that. So I spent a lot of time on this. This project meant a lot to me. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing all of the artists and their tracks justice by having, proper placement, not just within the sort of chronology of the Pokemon story, but also, making sure that their neighbors on the track list were not sort of clashing with them and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. An important role and a form of art, no less, I should add. Speaking of art, you have some incredible album art for both of these albums, and the fact that they just kind of like click together and make a full picture, it's incredible, folks. Here, so we've got up first, as we have just heard it, the gold version of this album. I mean, just like I can get lost just looking into all the little details that are here. Depicting Goldenrod City, of course, you've got the Goldenrod Station back there. You've got the Poke Station. You've got, oh my god, the market and everything.
Yeah, you've got the department store, the Pokemon Center, the gym is over there, the flower shop is back there, where you, of course, have to get the watering can to move the Sudowoodo that's blocking your path up by National Park. You've got one of the entrances to the underground, a couple houses and stuff like that. And then the silver artwork has and of course the gold version has the Ho-Oh feather, silver version has Lugia's feather. It's got the radio tower, it's got the game corner, it's got the other half of the underground, and then it's got that beautiful little gradient of a sunset going on that really gives it that city pop feel with the palm trees added in as well. So enormous shout out to Patricio, Mr. Polkarus Project, who I gave him a general direction as far as what I really wanted. I sent him a bunch of references as far as other city pop vinyl covers in particular that had the the cityscapes and the palm trees and the very bright saturated colors. The other big thing that I really wanted on both of these I wanted the obi strip. Japanese vinyl releases come typically with an obi strip of some sort. So it's beautiful. It's a singular piece of art split in half for these two releases. I believe we plan on doing a poster of this art at some point.
Please do.
So we are moving into new realms of physical merch over at GameGrooves. So we are basically kind of sourcing printers that we would want to work with on making sure that this artwork gets out. So the poster version of this would have neither of the obi strips and would have the actual titles removed. It would just be the artwork on its own.
Wow.
So yeah, lots of fun little Easter eggs in there.
I saw a Chatot in there, which is, I gotta say, that is not Gen
It is
2.
not. So that comes from Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The Chatot is the indicator for the underground in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So I wasn't going to tell Patricio no. Look, we'll talk, I can talk Patricio and Pokerus Project until I'm red in the face. Like I love that dude so much. I have been a fan of his for so long, and it was, for me extremely rewarding to be able to have him not just do an incredible version of Violet City, which we're going to hear in just a few moments, but also to be able to have him do the artwork when I can remember him releasing his Golden Sun album in 2016, and I think I listened to that like 500 times when it came out. So it's big for me as someone who's been a long-term fan of Mr. Pokerus Project before I even really got into doing VGM like this myself.
Oh man. Well, speaking of being a fan of boys, Alejandro,
we're bringing back the boy.
Oh my god. So we've got 3 tracks coming up that we're going to listen to. We got Lacey Johnson opening.
We got Miss Lacey Johnson herself opening up Silver version here
with Pokemon Johto. Again, just ringing in the vocals. Love it. Alejandro, who we had on earlier to talk about his boys, is going to tell us how he implemented them in Cherry Groove City. And then Felix Arfin, who did the Rival theme, we're going to listen to that as well. He has a little video intro. But before we get to that, Alejandro, I mean, just make us cringe, but tell me all about Cherry Groove City.
Cringe?
Cringe. I don't co-sign that.
You should.
All right. Well, let's get to a point, Alejandro. Cherry Groove City, bud. Yeah. What made you look at Deontay's cover and be like, I could do that?
Well, frankly, I saw Deontay's cover and I was like, I could probably steal the title, and I did, and it worked.
Yeah. Okay.
I also stole the concept for it.
Oh, nice. So it is the same song, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the exact same song. It's
well,
not
so what it is Deontay's is the route that you take to get to Cherry Grove City, and then this is the actual town theme. So Alejandro, I do have to thank you for actually picking this up. I believe, if I recall correctly, this was somewhat a last minute kind of addition, basically because I was grumpy that the person who originally claimed Cherry Grove City didn't want to do it anymore, and I wanted all of the town themes on these albums. So.
Which is, by the way, so important. You need to have all the. You can't
gotta
have all
them.
the town themes. How you gonna? You can't.
How you gonna have City Pop without all the cities?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you. God, I couldn't think of any good pop jokes in time. Anyways, I think I picked this up a day or two before the drum recording session, and basically just yelled into the abyss until it worked. In terms of arrangement, it's much simpler, much less ambitious. I went for straight up Japanese fusion, which influenced a lot of city pop, so technically I'm still correct. And there's just a bunch of soloing, because again, did not have time to do the arrangement. Speaking of times, it changes time signatures like 6 times. Why? I don't know.
Whoa.
It just seemed like the right idea at the time. It wasn't, as future generations would prove, but it worked.
That's cool. And did you bring some boys in for this one?
Same drummer, because it was the same drum recording session. Drummer's a absolute cat. If you guys know Fujikaze, the Japanese artist who is popular on the internet, he just released a Tiny Desk recently. He's the drummer on the Fujikaze Tiny Desk. And then the guy that played guitar on Machino Golden, who was in the City Pop session with me, he played like a weird MIDI guitar on this. And then everybody else is me.
You are the rest of the boys. Okay, awesome.
Sometimes one boy can be many boys. And sometimes one boy is not a boy at all. We're allies.
Okay, let's just move along then, shall we? Let's
groove.
Listen.
Pokémon Johto. Pokémon Johto. Everybody wants to be a master. Everybody wants to show their skills. Everybody wants to get there faster, make their way to the top of the hill. Each time you try, gonna get just a little bit better. Each step you climb's one more step up the ladder. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all and be the best that you can be. Pokémon Johto. Everybody wants to make a statement. Everybody needs to carve their mark, to stand alone in the victory circle, state their claim when the music starts. Give it all you've got. You can be the very best ever. Take your best shot. What you learn will come together. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all and be the best that you can be. Pokémon Johto. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude, but you still gotta catch 'em all and be the best that you can be. It's a whole new world we live in. It's a whole new way to see. It's a whole new place with a brand new attitude,
Hey everybody, Felix here. Really happy to have contributed the rival theme to the Goldenrod Citypop Silver Edition of this GameGrooves compilation. It's been such a blast to arrange this track for this album and for GameGrooves. It was really freaking hard though, but I was able to pull it off. I'm really happy to be able to do that. Hope you enjoy.
Damn, that's delicious.
Yeah, that's a extremely tasty version of the rival theme, and much like the trainer battle theme from the Gold Edition, the core of that melody lives within this arrangement, but it's so smooth and so lush that it's such a different feel and such a fun, unique take on what I consider to be a pretty classic Pokemon tune.
Yeah, that arrangement's a little bit unfair, Felix. We all have to live up to that. And of course, Lacey Johnson opening up the silver side with Pokemon Johto. God, yeah, just knocked it out of the park, easy. And then
Yeah.
Alejandro did his thing with his boys in Cherry Groove City. Yeah, that was a groove indeed. Yeah, the time changes and the drums, very solid, very solid.
Really tasty way to open it up, and that continues into our next listening block, which has a couple different folks, very music video heavy. I think 3 of the 4 songs on this next block have music videos. So that's great. Yeah,
Yeah.
something for the folks actually like watching the stream to look at over the next block besides the album art, which is great.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Pokerus Project coming up first, and he's also recorded a short intro for his video as well. Well, they are playing Violet City. Viron Media, who's here backstage, has got an arrangement of the bicycle theme. Bicycle. Bicycle. We've got Bicycle
Yes.
with the national park theme, and Matt Silverberg, who's also backstage, to talk about the Team Rocket Battle. Why don't we get Viron in here
Yes.
to chat us up? Viron, you've been sitting patiently here the whole time. How's it going?
Hello, how is everybody?
Doing
good.
sweet. Yeah, having lots of good reasons to feel good, including the music that we are about to listen to that you have created. Yeah, so when you saw Carrie's viral tweet, you definitely just
Like, we're
jumped
calling
up.
it a viral tweet.
We are, yeah, yeah,
It had
absolutely.
like 6 likes, but it had a bunch of replies to it.
There we go. That's all you need for viral
Okay, all
stuff
right.
is
We'll call it
engagement.
viral.
But yeah, you chose the bicycle theme. Why did you choose the bicycle theme?
At first I just kind of wanted to pick one that was one of like the really well-known tracks that everybody knows from the game. It's actually really funny because I can't ride a bike, so I don't know why I picked this song. You think I would pick something I could actually do, but I'm not that smart, so here we are. I like when they first announced the tracks, I was at the grocery store, and by the time I got home, all the cities were taken that I wanted. So I was like, well, I'm gonna find something. So I picked bicycle. The cool part about this is that I co-arranged it with my dad.
That's really cute. I'm always glad to see folks working with their family members on stuff like this.
Yeah, my parents actually got me into Pokemon because they collected all the cards and stuff because they're cool kids. And so Dad and I like talked about the form one day, and then he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna start the finale file, and then you can add stuff to it later." And then I got up, and he's like, "Oh, I finished it." And I was like, "What?" So I fixed up the drum parts and then did all the mixing and collaborating and stuff like that. It was a ton of fun. He's asleep because it's past his bedtime. But I do have a quick note from him to read that shouldn't take too long. Yeah, so here's what he has to say about it. What kind of city pop would the song best blend with? There's a lot of city pop that's essentially music from the Weather Channel, like And Now You're Local on the 8s. But that's not the type of song that Bicycle is. So this is more up-tempo along the lines of early Cassiopeia. To me, I imagined what the Pokemon soundtrack would be like if it came out around that time, and I thought it would sound more like the earliest genre of fusion, almost like it would have been a predecessor of games like Outrun. So it's a nice up-tempo groove that could also make a little bit of anxiety while you're playing the game, which is where it's at.
Nice. All right. Well, it doesn't sound like your dad is any stranger to city pop. What about yourself?
I wasn't super familiar with the genre. I think I knew some T-Square, but I wasn't familiar with the earlier city pop, so this was fun to learn from, both from Dad and from Carrie's playlist that she made for us.
Oh, nice. Right on. Yeah, cool. And are you? I mean, I see you've got your Chikorita and your Delibird there. Yeah, was Generation 2 really meaningful for you as well?
Yes, Heart Gold, Soul Silver are my favorite games of all time.
Wow. Okay, of all time, that is huge.
So definitely, just a little.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out and sharing your notes and your dad's notes about this track. Can't wait to show it off for everybody here. We're going to tuck you away backstage here real quick. And Carrie, I think you wanted to say a little bit of something about National Park on your behalf as well as Ian's.
So yeah, National Park feels like one of the handful of Pokemon songs that has really been done a million different ways. It's a very commonly covered Pokemon song for very good reason. It's an excellent piece of music. I wanted. It's interesting. So I had first attempted to arrange National Park when I was still playing with Quick Save. And I think we rehearsed it maybe 2 or 3 times before just being like, this isn't clicking for us. Like it just wasn't falling into place. So I just tucked that away for a couple years. And then with Biscore and this project, I knew that was really the tune I really wanted to revisit and see if I could sort of filter it through City Pop. I'm a big fan of City Pop. I listen to a lot of Cassiopeia and T-Square and Toshiki Katamatsu and all the big guys, right? So
all the big boys.
All the big boys and so National Park also, at least within the game, is also I have very vivid memories because that's where the bug catching contest is. So the bug catching contest, one of the contests happens on Saturdays. It's like Saturday mornings, I think. And I just remember like wanting to catch the morning time bugs that would show up only in the national park during the bug catching contest and like setting an alarm for myself so that I could get up and play this game early enough on a weekend where I would otherwise have probably just slept in, just so that I could catch like a really good Lediba or something like that. So I have a lot of fond memories of just playing the game and experiencing the national park within the game. So I hope that my nostalgia comes through. Ian did a masterful job at mixing this as well. And then we also had Xander Stale Karma do some sax on that to really give it really elevate the city pop kind of vibe with that. So I'm very pleased with it, and I hope you guys like it too.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. And then lastly, but not leastly, Matt Silverberg, who has also been sitting patiently backstage. Let's bring you forward, Matt. Matt, you've done your cover of Team Rocket Battle. Oh my God. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started with that one?
Well, I'm glad you had Viron on earlier because now I can reference her as much as I want to, and everyone will know who she is. She texted me and said, "Hey, you want to do this?" I said, "Sure." And then by the time I looked at the album, it was like one of 3 tracks that was left. So I was like, "Okay, that seems like the one I want to do." I forgot what the other 2 were.
The process of elimination, the best way to make any decision. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. That's why I play the marimba also. Yeah. So
yeah, definitely. Well, yeah. Being a marimba player, are you familiar much with City Pop?
I have no idea what the hell it is. No.
Okay, cool. We've been listening to it all night, but that's okay.
Oh, is that what that was the past hour?
Yeah. But I think we're on hour 2. Oh God. But yes, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so your first foray into City Pop, what lessons have you learned?
That I need to listen to more music, get outside my comfort zone a little bit more. Because again, I didn't know what the hell City Pop was, and I still don't really know what the hell it is. But I tried my best, and trying to bring the marimba into other genres. By the way, for those of you who don't know, I go by Marimba Matt as well. But I started the whole streaming thing before I knew Marimba Matt was more popular than my real name, so I kind of have 2 names now. Yeah, I don't know what I learned. I learned that I need to branch out a bit more, and I learned that the marimba works well in every single genre, and no one can tell me otherwise.
There you go. Yeah, well, you don't have to have any fear or hesitation. You can just do whatever you want. Like, be on a City Pop album when you don't know what City Pop is. Yeah, and Pokemon Generation 2, any special place in your heart for that?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yay!
Oh, yeah.
And also Dunsparce, or this is the Dunsparce, but I brought this up for Geo. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Dunsparce.
Yeah, Pokemon Crystal was the first game I played. It was actually my sister's, but of course I stole it. Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal was just like the best of both. And still not letting you catch them all.
Yeah, right.
Like, let's make a penultimate version of all of our games and still let you require the other games to get everything.
We got to trade.
Oh my God. Oh, and yeah, well, I mean, what if you didn't have any idea what City Pop was? You're playing Murmur. What was your approach to this arrangement?
Ask people for help as much as I could. Veronica, or Viron, I should say, Viron Media helped me out a lot. Some other people that I just mentioned, like, does this sound like City Pop? And because I'm Marimba Matt, and I'm fortunate enough to get marimba gigs relatively frequently, the whole arrangement is pretty much a marimba solo, because I like to play all my VGM stuff at my gigs. And that's why I'm glad I was able to get the video done, because the visual aspect of the marimba really is a lot more exciting to listen to it that way than just listening to it. I just asked for a lot of help because, again, a genre I'm super unfamiliar with. It's good to ask for help when you don't know things, I've learned.
Yeah, and I think, that just kind of speaks to the VGM community generally. Lots of people out there willing to help with their expertise and their knowledge and collaboration. It sounds like you were able to shoehorn in to this album, no problem, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good taste into what we're getting into here. So why don't we listen to Violet City by Pokerus Project, Bicycle by Viron Media, National Park by Byscore, and Team Rocket Battle by Matt Silverberg. Let's
listen.
Hey guys, Pokémon here. I just want to say thank you so much for having me on this project, having me as a musician on this album, and also in the album art, the actual album art. It was super fun to make. Pokemon Gold and Pokemon Silver are like my favorite games ever. And of course I wanted to be there somehow. It was my very first time making an actual city pop style arrangement, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot of this experience, getting out of my comfort zone and all of that. So thank you so much to GameGrooves, thanks so much to Kerry for this amazing, super creative idea and for having me on this. Hope you enjoy. Cheers from Santiago, Chile.
Dang. Yeah, marimba works.
Marimba does work. I didn't realize that I had inadvertently created a marimba block of the evening, but that's definitely what that just was.
Unintentional marimba block. No, that was really good. God, yeah, I think Matt hit the nail on the head. Definitely enjoyed seeing that performance as well as hearing it. It really kind of heightened the experience.
Absolutely.
And of course, we had Poker's Project. I think he put that song together for a different album. It was called Pokemon Citypop. That was on the credits
His
there in his
little
video.
typo in his video. It's fine. Look, that dude can do whatever he wants. I don't,
Yeah.
whatever. Who cares? Like,
Oh my god! But yeah, that was really cool to see. Viron's bicycle. I mean, yeah, and Viron and friends. I mean, I
Neron
think
and
what,
friends doing bicycle, such like fun track, like that little bit of swing added to it. I mean, that feels like there's a swing already present, but to like really accentuate and focus on that kind of element to it, I thought was really fun. The little hitches and the melody, it's all good.
and
Super
of course, the buy score doing National Park, the sweetheart of the gold silver OST. Absolutely. Oh man, that was just so sweet. And yeah, good call getting the sax in there too, just to round.
Oh yeah, of course, enormous. Again, huge shout out to Stale Karma for joining us for that track. So looking forward to having the time in my life to get a music video done and out for that. Probably around the time this album actually releases. So
In 2 weeks. Oh my god. All right. Well, we've got 7 more songs to listen to and only one more guest backstage to talk about their track. And it works out that it is the next song that we will be hearing. We've got Sam Hipp, who did a cover of the Ecruteak Dance Theater. Yeah, why don't we get you in the scene here? Sam, how's it going? You've been so patient, sitting pretty in the wings, just ready
I'm
to
the
talk
very
about
last
your track.
one.
And here you are, man. Let's hear it. Let's hear why you chose the Ecruteak Dance Theater. That is kind of a unique track on the album.
Well, so a little background. Everybody's been talking about a tweet. I didn't see the tweet. Alan reached out to me and was like, "Hey, have you made City Pop before?" And I'm like, "Not really," but I'm interested. Like, I want to get on something. And he's like, "Well, we're doing this thing with Pokemon Gen 2," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I am a Gen 2 guy." So like, I will make whatever it could be, any genre. I will try to make it. And so yeah, I jumped on it. And so by the time I got to like the choosing of the tracks, there were like 27 other entries already there. So I was like, dang, like all the like real classics. But this one stuck out in my mind. I was like, okay, but what about that one that sounded like really like traditional Japanese? Like, what place was that? And I was like, oh, it was the dance theater, and nobody's taken it yet. I'm doing that. So yeah, that's what happened.
Nice. Little process elimination, little actually good memory of what the soundtrack is. Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, yeah, you're a Gen 2 lover for sure. You got your Pikachu on your shoulder there. I see
I also
Abra
got
on your shirt.
I got
Oh,
a
you got
little
a little Umbreon.
There we go. Little Umbreon for yeah, I saw Espeon earlier, so yeah, represent the
I see
evolution.
your Espeon, and I raise you an Umbreon.
Well, so
Super
people might
effective.
not realize the dance theater is where you see Umbreon and Espeon for the first time in Gen 2.
Mhm.
So all the kimono girls have their evolutions, like that's where you see them for the first time. So gotta
Oh, wow.
represent.
Yeah.
Good little piece of trivia there. All right. Yeah. What is your favorite Pokemon, if not Umbreon?
It's
From Generation
actually
2.
the Abra line. So Alakazam is kind of, I was trashing on kids on the playground in my yellow version days with the speed and special back when special defense and attack weren't a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just special, and nothing compares. Especially Psychics. Psychics in Gen 1 just swept everything.
Extremely overpowered. So that's why they had to
now
introduce
it's
the
not
dark
even in
type to
Scarlet
balance
and
it out.
Violet, like, so yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, you said you hadn't done any City Pop before, so how did you approach this arrangement?
Yeah, so kind of keeping in mind, like, this is a dance theater of kimono girls, like a very like traditional geisha kind of like, hundreds of years old kind of setting. and I don't know City Pop that well, but I do know Enka. I actually have a friend who's like kind of a somewhat well-known Enka composer in Japan, and so I was more familiar with that music, and I was like, okay, well, as kind of a nod to the dance theater, why not combine the progenitor to City Pop with City Pop? And I usually make dance music, so why not try to make it like electronic and dancey?
You're just like bridging the gaps between like 4 generations of music. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's got a little different feel than the rest of the album. Like, I also didn't have any reference to what other people would be doing, so I was just like, you know what, I know some city pop artists. I like it. I think I know, I used to live in Tokyo. I know what it sounds like, at a Lawson or 7-Eleven. Like, I know that kind of thing. So I'm just going to give it my best shot. And yeah, honestly, I've been blown away. Like, I've been abstaining from listening to this album until this moment. Like, I've been blown away. Yeah, this is legit. Yeah.
All right. Well, awesome. Yeah, I think we're going to continue blowing people away. Yeah, we've got coming up next, Sam Hip, your cover of the Eckertique Dance Theater. We've got Celestial Fury, who has covered Cianwood City, and he's prepared a little video blip about that as well. And then we're going to hear Ronan Op F with The Chosen One, and Na Tony with the SS Aqua. Let's
listen.
Groove. Oh, listen. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Celestial Fury, and I arranged Cianwood City on the silver side of the Pokémon Citypop double album. I tried to get a sort of deep 80s, sort of nostalgic vibe with this track. Hopefully that comes across in the lead guitar and bass tones especially. Thanks again to Carrie and GameGrooves for organising this album and having me on it. Enjoy the track.
ice and lightning, unless these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash.
Though the waters great gurging shall rise to quell the fighting, alone its sun will fail, thus the earth shall turn to ash.
Hot dang. Oh man. That is living on the cusp of city pop.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's the SS Aqua track was one that it's one of the preview tracks that we put up for the album during the pre-order period, and yeah, it is a perfect encapsulation of city pop in a lot of ways, from the arrangement to the guitar tone. Tony did a great job with that. And then before that, we heard Ronan Op F with Friends, basically, with Delicious Nick, and Lex the Lexicon artist was on that, as well as Kev Ragone doing The Chosen One, which was a soundtrack tune from Pokemon the Movie 2000 by the B-52s. So
What a deep cut. Oh my god.
yeah, big fan of that. Again, it was important to me to have some of the anime tracks on here, as we discussed earlier, and I think that crew did a really solid job with that, while still kind of channeling B-52s while having some city pop elements in there as well. Celestial Fury Cyanwood City was just flawless, perfect, no notes. And then Sam Hipp's Critique Dance Theater. So fun to take a track that is such a short loop on the game soundtrack and extend it in a way that feels like meaningful and purposeful, but without sort of like just being repetitive, right? So big fan of that block. And we've got a giveaway I think we got to do before we start talking about the last 3 tracks.
Yeah, we got the last giveaway tonight, folks, and I see 9 eligible users. Let's see who's got the gimme. Nightbot says Prac Makes Perf has won the giveaway. Prac Makes Perf, congratulations! Oh my god, you won a copy of the gold and silver version of this album. That's beautiful.
Excellent.
And Carrie will probably slide into your DMs about that. Thank you to everybody who has entered, who said gimme in chat. That's literally the bar for entry, but thank you all the same, and congratulations to our winners. We just have 3 more songs to listen to before this whole thing wraps up. Oh my god, what a journey we've been on. Well, we've got a couple of places left to go. We've got Route 2, which is from the Kanto side of this game, as well as Pewter City, also being from the Kanto side. Route 2 is from Note Block. Thank you, Note Block. We got Gator Tots. That's a great name, and I don't know who that is. Who the heck is Gator Tot?
I believe that's a relative newcomer to GameGrooves. And then, so like the gold side, this ends with the first couple steps into the Kanto region. So Route 2 is also where Viridian Forest is. So this was one of the couple of tunes that basically got covered twice. Stephen Morris did it as Viridian City. Noteblock did it as Route 2. Very different arrangements, both very fun in their own ways. And then after that, we get treated to a genuinely masterful arrangement of the credits ending theme from Mr. Bobson Dugnut Jr. That's it. That's all we got. We're in the home stretch here, folks. So I think we can just hop right into it.
Do you want to say it this
time? We can let's...
Groove. my god, what a send off! Wow, that's just beautiful. That's priceless.
Yeah, the yeah, again, as I said, a masterful arrangement of the credits ending theme. Yeah, I mean, beyond the obvious, the city pop instrumentation and just the overall arrangement, the decision to end with the acapella, uh, you know, main melody line of credits going into that little stinger of the main Pokemon title theme at the very end. Again, one of the songs that when I listened to it the first time, I was like, "Ooh, I'm tender!"
Like nobody asked for that. That is just
Right.
like above and beyond. Oh my
So
god.
so good, very much above and beyond. Everybody went above and beyond for this project. I am blown away by the work that every artist put into their tracks. I am blown away by the extent of collaboration that some people worked on throughout this process. Just an enormous thanks to everybody who was involved in this project in some capacity. Very much thanks to everybody who has pre-ordered it so far. Again, this was a real passion project, a real labor of love for me as the sort of, I guess you would call it, the producer or the creative director on this project.
Yeah.
This
Pat
is
yourself on the back right now so that we can all see it.
yeah, go ahead, pre-order gold version and silver version. They are two different albums. When you go, there will be individual tape listings. If you're interested in physical media, we are doing cassette tapes and CDs. Those are in production right now. So the tapes are individual tapes, and then the CD is actually a double pack. So no need to pre-order that twice. If you're wondering why is the CD $20 when the album is otherwise $12, it's because it contains both versions. So it contains both gold and silver. It will be in a single double pack CD. So if you're interested in both and you want to save yourself a few bucks, that is a great way to do it. Yeah, please support this release. And I had revealed this to the artists backstage, but I will reveal it to everyone in chat as well, that we are in talks. This is not final yet, so this could still not happen, but we are in talks to have a vinyl release. That would be the very first time that GameGrooves has done vinyl. We think this is a really great project to sort of break into that market. So again, that's not final yet. We're still sort of discussing with a specific label, but we're very optimistic. Yes, Patricio, you're going to be the first person we talk to when
Like, you had
we
to say it.
sign the
Come on.
deal. Like, absolutely, we'll be talking with you about it. Don't even worry about that. But yeah, again, thank you very much to everyone for their support. Obviously, I love Pokemon. I make no mistakes about, I got Squirtle Squad in my armpit, man. Like, it's it's there's no denying how much I love Pokemon. I've always loved Pokemon. Gen 2 I always think was very special, especially if you are in your 30s and you actually got to experience that sort of like lead up to the release of Gen 2 and just sort of how special that was to be a Pokemon fan at that time.
Millennials don't fucking know, man.
So it's really good. So I think that's all I got. Josh, thank you very much for having me and supporting this release and having everybody on tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, just an absolute pleasure. The love that has been put into this is just like, it's shining right out of every part of this release. Congratulations to you and to everybody involved in this project. It's just really wonderful. And I've hosted lots of GameGrooves listening parties. This one is a standout even amongst all of that. So yeah, double congratulations.
Thank you.
And yeah, we do want to bring everybody in here for like one final send off. Just some shameless plugs for bonus stage. Yeah, I'm going to be at Mag West. I am going to be hosting two what we are calling bonus stage power hours, where I'm going to be interviewing some of the musical guests that are there at Mag West. So if you're around, just check the schedule. Come and say hi. I think I'm on like the variety stage for one of them and one of the panel rooms for the other. I'm also going to be on the main stage doing some emceeing for some of the acts. So that'll be really cool. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. Oh my God. And I'm also going to be doing a panel about my Pokemon collection at like 11:30 p.m. on Friday. So like staying up late is what there is to do at MagWest. So please come on and I will show you all like 1,300 or so of my Pokemon. And that's really it. If you're in the Lower Mainland, just go to bonusstage.ca. We got a bunch of other events coming up, and we got a couple more that we're going to be announcing tomorrow. So please follow us on social media, Bonus Stage Van, or just go to bonusstage.ca for all your bonus stage needs. And what I need right now is to get every beautiful person who is still backstage to come on and give us all a big wave as we sign off for the night. Thank you, everybody in chat, for sticking around. Thanks for being here. Thank you to all of you wonderful people, artists, backstage, etc., for joining the show. It was a real pleasure talking to you all here tonight. We might pick a raid target. Otherwise, have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you.
All right, we're going to have a sign off. Let's...
Boys!
Groove.
Boys.
Boys.
Oh,
Yeah.